My name is Oscar Hernandez. I am with United We Dream in Houston, and we fight for racial justice with the immigrant rights lens. Overall, in the U.S., the immigration system is broken. It's been broken for many years, and well, I think to say it's broken is almost to not acknowledge that it was designed in a way that doesn't allow a lot of people to be able to enter legally in the U.S. And right now, one of our current battles out of the many that have erupted in the last years is that DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, was announced this year that it's been canceled. So there's a shift right now about what are we going to do with the over 800,000 undocumented youth who have this work permit, which includes me and almost all my coworkers, to what's the next thing that we can win to benefit our community. So our big push has been so far the DREAM Act, which is actually a DREAM Act was something that we've been fighting for as an organization since like the late 90s. And it's got halted multiple times once it got to the Senate, once in Congress, and it's been a big issue about how we move forward. But we have, we're in a different position we are today than we were in the past couple of years. So the new version of the DREAM Act, which we're fighting for, a clean DREAM Act, is the way it's written right now. We have United We Dream, undocumented immigrants have actually worked with some Congress people onto this legislation and how we're going to, and what it means and how it impacts our community. But what we want to make sure is the DREAM Act, as it stands right now, is open and might be implemented or might become a law by the end of the year or before March 5th of next year. So that's where our focus is right now. How do we ensure that all these over 800,000 undocumented youth have DACA, all this over 1 million who applied and some of them were not granted DACA, like how do we make sure that there's a long-term protection that might include a pathway to citizenship? Our tactics, some of them have changed, some of them have stayed the same in how we move forward. We've always based the power of our movement on our stories, because that helps us communicate and connect at a human level with other people. And to me, that's why they've been so powerful in how we do in how we move together. Because someone might get involved for the movement, but they'll stay for you because you made that relationship. And what has also got me very excited is that we're at this place where we're no longer talking about dreamers. So what it means to be in the movement now is to encompass what it means to be an undocumented person. Because the dreamer was something that was developed for us. You know, it was a narrative. It's a merit-based idea. This dreamer, I mean, it already comes off the bat of a 4.0 GPA, amazing at college, wants to join the military. Like, that is a dreamer, and these are the good guys. But when the DREAM Act was introduced, even initially, I wouldn't have qualified. I've never been, I was never a student at a university. So I know I wouldn't qualify for any of that, and it wouldn't fit me into that category. It's such a small box. But what gets me way excited is that I hear that conversation from a lot of other people, you know, who are undocumented, who talk about, you know what, I don't fit the dreamer narrative, but I'm still undocumented, and I'm going to fight for me, my community, for students and parents and other people who don't fit that, because it's important to me. And to me, that is extremely powerful. And even in the beginning, when there was questions of like, well, there's just students, they're not criminals. Again, that type of mentality ends up making it's okay to deport these other people because, you know, they drove without a license, so they're definitely criminals. And we're moving away from that because it also talks about, you know, how the black community has been viewed as being criminal just for the color of their skin. So to us, it's important to recognize that the dreamer movement, as it was known, has moved into a space where we're trying to identify what it does mean to be undocumented. How do we have our title developed by undocumented people that is inclusive to the LGBTQ community, it's inclusive to other ethnicities that are more than just the Latinx community, and it doesn't have the age window that the dreamer idea would be like, where it's just dream youth. I think that's what has been keeping me even more excited, hearing that from more people. And then how do we build that narrative together and know that it's really grassroots, that it came from documented voices to how we want to be seen and how we identify ourselves.